Hello, good evening. Welcome. Look at those little things running around like little ants. Welcome to this week's stream. I thought I'd start by talking about what I'm going to do today, because what I'm going to do today is maybe a crazy idea, maybe not going to work. So last week, actually, let me show you. So last week we got a feature added, which is this get share code that implements this crazy little compression algorithm. Basically, serialize these tracks to this string, copies it to the clipboard. I can get rid of these now, or I can press that button. And then basically the idea is I can send you that code, or you can send me a code, and I can say, hey, load that code in, and it pulls off the clipboard and it tries to deserialize. And this is cool that it all works, but it's a little annoying that it's like just the dodgy way it uses the clipboard. I am a fan of doing things, getting them working first and then improving them later. I don't mind if something is like a little bit not broken, but if it's not ideal. I am a firm believer that perfect is the enemy of good, so I'm okay with the fact that UI, it's a little bit like, if I'm honest, it's a little bit crap. I'm okay with that to start with, knowing that I've got plans to improve it, but I'm really quite lazy. And so the thing is, to improve it means putting in dialogues to copy and paste codes or whatever. And realistically, are people going to send around codes? I don't know. So what I thought today we would do is add a project that is a Blazor project to this solution. The theory being that my game engine is written in C#, so it will work on Blazor, no worries. And even my rendering engine, it's written on top of Skier Sharp to do the drawing, but the actual rendering, the actual thing that draws the tracks, is written in C#, so that should run on Blazor as well. And then if I can swap out the Skier layer with a layer that writes to HTML canvas, then essentially we'll have a web front end to the train game. And then things like get code and share code and whatever become easier, because I don't even need to bother with the UI. You, as a user, you could just copy the URL and send it to a friend, and then someone can just click on a URL, which makes it a lot easier. Makes it a lot easier for anyone out there who's watching now or later to just muck around and play with the game. There is, of course, this started with a JavaScript version that works in a browser, and it's really easy. If you go to this URL, you can start drawing tracks. So I think that's what I'm going to start to do today. I don't know that I'm going to get to finish it today. In fact, I probably won't. It would be unlikely, I think, to have everything working that quickly, but hopefully, anyway, we'll start. So we do have, however, one pull request. Okay, I've just realized you didn't hear any of what I said. So there we go. Okay. So yeah, anyway, what I was saying was, I wonder what's going to happen with the DI, because we now have two implementations of this iTrack codec, which is interesting. I'm kind of surprised that we didn't actually get an exception thrown. I'm guessing what happened is this add singleton probably found the deflate codec first, since that's the first one that comes alphabetically, and then the tiny binary codec, and it simply overrode that registration, which is fine. I might even I'm kind of tempted to just delete this. Let's just retire this one. Yeah, we'll just take that out of circulation. So this should still work. Should be able to run if we load. Yeah, cool. All right, so now that we have smaller sharecodes, great. Let me commit that and deflate share code. So, yeah, share codes. So share codes are cool. I like the idea. I like the idea of people using this game and being able to more easily play it. So I love the idea of being on the web, but of course that means I need to write a web front end. So let's start with that and let's just see what happens. I have no idea how easy or hard this is going to be. I have no idea how, well, I actually don't even know if this is going to work because I have never successfully got a Blazor project to run. So because I have, I guess we'll call it frames.net.web, because I have lots of Visual Studio installs, oh, there we go. My experiment earlier, I forgot to delete it. Yeah, so I have never actually got this to, a Blazor project to compile because I always have a really weird, funky set of SDKs and things installed. Oh, I don't even want it in that directory. Ha, isn't that funny? I would like that in source. So because of that, I've always had trouble with Blazor. Now, as you saw just then, I already created this project before just to make sure it builds, and it does, but I haven't run it. I assume if it builds, it'll run. Okay, so we are not hosted. I would like, I'm not entirely sure what Progressive Web App does, but what I would like for this is for it to be essentially a static site. In fact, ideally, I'd like to host this on GitHub Pages where the rest of my website is hosted, and indeed where where this is hosted. This is just a GitHub Pages hosted site, and you know everything works great because it is a static site. So I tell you what, let's just see if this runs. I guess that should be the first thing we do. Do I even have IS Express installed? It's been a while since I've done any web development. Before I started at Microsoft, I did a lot, but since then, none. So that worked. In an ideal world, it would work in a different browser, but beggars can't be choosers. Okay, cool. This is further than I've ever got with Blazor. So that's a positive start. Can I tell this to open in Edge Beta? There we go. Let's see if that works. That's better. Now it's sized correctly, so you can all see it. Okay, cool. So this works. I'm happy with that. So, of course, the first thing we need to do then is delete all of this stuff because we don't want it. What's an index.html? Nothing much. Do we want Bootstrap? I guess I'll leave Bootstrap for now. What's in here? A bunch of stuff. Look, I'm not a great web developer. I'm certainly no web designer, but I think I kind of know my way around. So I'll leave that as a head start. Oh, this means it's not scrollable, not zoomable, right? I think that's probably useful. Okay, so let's get rid of these two pages. There's nothing in here. Just wondering if I should keep them to refer to things. Get rid of this. Do that. Maybe I should keep them to refer to things. Maybe not. Let's be bold. We can always Google for answers. And all right, so I think we're cool. Let's see what happens. So, I guess what do I want to? Oh, actually, wait. Where's my? I was gonna say there's a layout here, isn't there? Because there's a nav menu. Don't do that. I probably could keep the nav menu as being a menu. I do have tools and things. This is a standard component. Yeah, I don't want naving though. I just want menu. Maybe I'll keep that to put the menu for tools and things there. Let's see if this runs. Okay, it runs good, and this should not work. Excellent. That's quite a slow 404 page. All right, cool. Yeah, that's about Blazor. Okay, so let's clean this up a bit some more. All right, where's the about menu? It's there. We can get to that. Yeah, let's leave the nav menu, but maybe I'll rename it. It's not really navigation, so let's just call it menu. Is that all I have to do to rename something? Nope. Oh, yes. Maybe. There's a compiler. Found markup element. Yay, it works. All right, look at me. I'm already changing things. Okay, so that's probably fine. So, all right, we need to add some references. So we want to reference that one. I do want to render rendering. I want to reference rendering. And that's maybe seems a little bit weird because this is skier sharp rendering, but I want to eventually use that. Hey, Darkon, thanks for hanging out. How are you? So the theory with reusing this track renderer, it uses Skier to do all of its painting and drawing, but the logic in here for what to draw I still want to maintain. So what I'm kind of thinking is, if I have a class that is a canvas of some kind, and I just implement all of these methods on that interface, we can have a Skier renderer that calls Skier to do them. And otherwise for Blazor, we have essentially a C# class that calls JavaScript interop to draw on a HTML canvas. That's the theory. I've no idea if it'll work, but we shall see. But for now, let's just start. Let's see if we can't write some code. How do we do dependency injection? So this is going to have standard ASP.NET. So I'm using the same dependency injection, but of course I'm doing my own thing here. This is interesting. What? So there's no startup class, which I would have expected. So I'm guessing this is just using this standard one. Let's see. Services. Yeah, add singleton. Okay, so we can hook up our own DI. That's cool. All right, let's grab the DI system and start with that. So that is in here. It is essentially this code. Yeah. Okay, let's grab that code. And so what I want to do here is do I make this look like idiomatic Blazor and do an extension method? Yes, all right, why not? All right, let's add a new class. We'll get rid of this. So what I want to do here, let's write the code first. I want to go services dot add from assembly, and then we'll go type of gameboard dot assembly. And then what I want to do is that I need to create an extension method, so I need an extensions class. But let's call it, it's a builder extension. So builder extensions. So for extension methods, we need a static class and we need a static method. What do we call it? Add from assembly. So we go add from assembly. It's going to be static. Can't type. Mouse is in the way. And this is, I'm guessing this is a service provider. Oh, iService collection. Okay. Let's do that. And it takes in an assembly as well. So all we need to do, we already have this code and we have this code. We simply do that. Ordered list should come in. This is assembly to scan. This I can now rename to services. Okay. That should be enough to bring our DI into Blazor. So we want to do this for, which assemblies? Gameboard, game, main window. We'll worry about main window later. All right, let's do game as well. All right, that seems good. What is this? Consider calling configure await. Oh, am I in the world of configure await now? I'm not sure I'm ready for that world. So does this run? Looking good. All right. So now our question is, how do we get access to those services? So what I need is I want this injected. Is there an at inject? There is. Inject a service from the application service. Oh, hey, thank you, Darkon. Do I ordered list of pool? Is this how we do it? It hasn't complained about. No light bulb. Yeah, no compile errors. I'm guessing that's unnecessary. All right, let's see if this works. What is a tool? Hey, it's an iTool. This is going to work. Excellent. Lifecycle of those. Yeah. Oh, see, this is where I want the web for ease, and then you opt in. You get all these fun things like life cycles and this is not a nav link anymore. So let's just do this. Oh, whoops. At. I think that one missed the at there. Oh, an unhandled error code. Cool. How do I find out what that unhandled error is? Let's see if the debugger will tell me. I wonder, actually, I guess I've got, I don't need to stop and start this all the time. I can probably just reload. Whoa. Start in a whole different place when it's in the debugger. Okay, that's interesting. Let's no, what am I doing? Debug exceptions. Let's break on exceptions and see what happens. So reload. Oh no, not going to tell me. Is it in my console? Do I get my exception? I do. Alright. Where's my exception? Oh, it prints out a line for every... Is this one exception or many exceptions? This looks like one line per stack thing. Unexpected exception rendering component. Unable to resolve storage type I game storage. Ah, that's probably okay because, yeah, this is one of those things that I need to bring across. So storage, welcome Scott. That's okay. What you missed was 10 minutes of me talking without a microphone because for some reason the scene in OBS didn't have a camera, so I'm on this other scene which I hadn't set up yet. I have no idea how I will put this episode together to upload to YouTube. So yeah, I don't have a game storage. Like game storage is platform dependent because obviously Blazor apps can't write to the file system. So I don't have one in here. But the interesting thing is, it's not nullable. I wonder if this is going to work. If I just make this nullable and no, I've got to make, okay, let's make this nullable too. If storage is null, then I return. That'll do. Maybe once the green goes away. Oh, right. Yes, the application's still running. Okay, good. Scared me for a minute there. I thought I'd forgotten all my C# syntax. Let's see if this builds. Yes. There's a few assumptions here. Consider calling thing. That's cool. Possible null reference return. I don't need any of this anyway. Let's leave the onClick. All right, let's see what that does. Yeah, I don't have any storage, but that's okay. I don't need storage. That component can be optional. Hopefully the DI container, nope. That's interesting. So the DI container is obviously not, I won't say not smart enough, but not designed to just ignore when it can't resolve a service, even if things nullable. But with linking disabled, excellent. All right, let's do a quick and dirty, because I do have a good old null storage, and I'm pretty sure I can just, this is referred to directly, yep. So I can just drag it up to here. Now this might have broken desktop, because now if it finds this storage, it's not going to use the other one, but we'll see what happens. We can always fix that later. And I guess I don't need this to be nullable anymore now, because I've made a null storage. All right, that works. They have the right tools in the right order even. Obviously it looks terrible, but now I guess comes the beauty of, where are we? I've lost my file. There it is. The beauty of, oh, it's not in the span. Oh, right. Oh, that's the icon. Okay. Does it reload? No. That's interesting. Oh, maybe it does. Maybe they're li. Yeah, see, this is the annoying thing about having something else as CSS. It's like you think you're getting a head start, but then all that ends up happening is nothing works and you don't know how to fix it because, of course, you didn't write any of the CSS. But we do want these to be links, so maybe that'll at least fix the font. Nope, okay. Apparently, it doesn't reload. Maybe you need to be debugging for that. That kind of makes sense, actually. All right, there we are. We got links. Excellent. All right, so now we need a canvas over here. So let's get rid of this. I'll have to do some kind of on-click here. And yeah, we don't need that. Navbar toggle. Was there a navbar toggle? Oh, I've just made this not compile. Hang on. Does this actually toggle? Maybe that's actually a good thing. Toggling. Toggling might be fun. It doesn't. I've broken everything. I'll tell you what, yeah, I'll leave that. Oh, it's supposed to start collapsed, I think, if I'm reading that right. Which is kind of funny, because it's definitely not starting collapsed. Anyway, alright, let's leave that alone. And let's just push on with not menu, index. Alright, so we want a canvas here. Now, let's start with this. Width and height, I probably want to set with Java. Oh no, I could set them with CSS. All right, let's do this the normal way. Fill page. Let's see if there's a class in Bootstrap to fill the page. Full height column layout. So Bootstrap, if I'm remembering correctly, and it's been a while, it has a 12 column layout that it uses. Main displayer, column MD10. Oh, that's not the answer, that's the question. What's the answer? Oh, iframe. Oh, maybe I know what this. Column extra small 12, and medium 12. I'm trying to remember the Bootstrap. Does that mean that it's the size of 12 columns when the columns are extra small? Or is it in column number 12? Let's have a look. Is there documentation about any of this? Grid examples, that'll do. Three equal columns. Yeah, so 4, 4, 4. Okay, so 12 takes up 12 columns. I would think. So that makes sense. So that's probably what we want. Let's try that, and let's see if there's anything here that has height 100%. Probably not. That would be too lucky. No. All right. Well, that's all right. We can do this. Stack Overflow answer is a bit dodged. You know, I haven't used Stack Overflow in a while. Trying to determine whether you can trust the Stack Overflow answer is sometimes more difficult than it's like if I knew the answer, I wouldn't need Stack Overflow, and if I could understand the potential answers, well, I might not either. And of course, because I'm very clever, there could be a canvas there. I don't know. So let's inspect. Okay, well, that's not clearly not. Oh, there's the collapse. Oh, look at that. That's even responsive. Hey, that's fancy. All right, so I probably stuffed up the collapse there. So where's our canvas? Well, it's clearly not full screen. So if we do medium, that looks better. Is that full screen though, or is it just big? Oh no, that's actually... All right, so medium 12. That's... Someone who knows Bootstrap can tell me why that is, or not. I don't mind. Now the height 100% is clearly not worked, which is interesting. Is it applied? No. Where's my canvas style? Huh. This is where I start to question whether I have forgotten everything about CSS. But yeah, no, it is just tag name, height 20%. I, you know what? I think you're right. Let's just go and, well, let's do this. Let's just give it a bit of padding. That should, in theory, if my memory serves, and it probably doesn't because I never did too much CSS. I just handed it off to people who are clever than me. Yep. It was going better before. Why? All right. No, well, position absolute. That's not going to take into account the nav bar. Where I keep losing. There we are. Well, the width works, just not the height. 100% the container. It is probably actually, yeah, the container. Actually, I probably need. So content. Let's have a look. What's the style on a content? See, this is, yeah, again, head. It's only got padding. And what was the other style there? PX4. I'm guessing that's Bootstrap doing something. Anyway, you know what? That'll do. Let's start with that. We can make it look beautiful later. The aim here is to see if we can get something drawing. So, what is wrong with that? What have I broken about this? Menu.tools and menu.tools. Okay, I'm going to close and reopen the editor and see if that helps. And it does. Excellent. No, it doesn't. That's very strange. Yeah. So, broke VS. You know, I'm not supposed to use that as an excuse because I work on VS but I don't work on the web tooling team, so that's very strange. Like I didn't. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have committed this as soon as I created the project from its template. I should have committed this, and then I could see what I've actually changed. Anyway, what we're going to do here, we're going to do this ID equals, and I'm going to call this, oh, let's just call it game. So the job we want, in theory, what we have now is a Blazor app that has all of our classes ready to be injected. And what I need to do is create a kind of a wrapper, I guess, around all these, oh no, not a wrapper. That's probably the wrong word. I need to create my own version of all of these skier classes I'm using, then implement them for skier and implement them for JavaScript. But I guess the first thing I need is a game, because Actually, that's one thing that I haven't got anywhere yet. So all of this stuff, the game, the pixel mapper, etc., all of that needs to live somewhere. And I need this timer. This timer is going to have to be... Oh, I wonder if this timer is a JavaScript timer or if this becomes a timer down in the lower levels. That's interesting. But what we don't have, somewhere here, is maybe in here? Yeah, so we have to set the size of the game before we... Like, that's kind of... Setting the size is kind of the first thing that we do. And until you set the size, nothing else is going to work because, there's max columns, etc. So we need a game injected to start with. So that's cool. We can do that. We know how to do that. I'm going to call it that. No IntelliSense. So we need a game. What else? Oh, that's in rendering. We probably need... Well, a game board is the other thing that is... So the game board is where the actual game loop is. So, well, yeah, we definitely need a game board. That'll then start itself, so that's cool. That'll set up the storage for tracks and things. That's cool. Game initializes the game board. Okay, so we might not need a game board because game initializes that. Yeah, so really set size. In fact, I wonder if this is even needed. I actually don't even know. Board renderers. You know what? I actually think... I have a feeling. Oh, width and height. Okay. Yeah, because we're clipping and things like that. Okay, so for drawing. Well, that's scary. I actually wonder if... I suspect this isn't needed at all. And I think the tracks just render all of the tracks we have. Track layout renderer. Yeah, they just go through all the tracks. So that's maybe a bug or maybe a feature. I'm not sure. Okay, so this is interesting though. So what we need to do is we need to tell the game how big it is, but I have no idea if this is going to work, but can we... Well, there's no red squiggle, so okay, we can just write... No, we can't write code. Okay, so we need a method. So can we have a constructor here? Let's Razor page. Yeah, let's go with Blazor constructor. Let's see how you construct things or like initialize things. This doesn't really help me. This doesn't really help me either. Add a model. Oh no, that's Razor Pages. I don't really want a model. I guess. So the other thing is this size needs to come from JavaScript. Because it needs to come from that canvas element, which presumably Blazor can do through JS interop. Let's just get a sample of that going. Ooh, inject the IJS runtime. Okay. Oh, did I forget a semicolon? No. Maybe it's not needed. We've got one there, but anyway. Yeah, so what's interesting here is they don't have... like the only initialization is inline, which, well, is that okay? I kind of, need that. This is WebAssembly, yeah. JS invocable. Ooh, nice. So I could do it with an onload, I guess. Yeah, that'd work. I mean, it might have paid to read about Java and Blazor first, but who needs to do that? That's just silly. All right, let's start by. No, I do need. No, so I need this method that sets the size. I can't use this, right? I need to just call game.setSize. So, like, for example, uh, height. This needs to call game.setSize and pass in width height. So I can make this JS invocable, and then I guess do we have JavaScript jQuery or document.ready? How do we do these things these days? What is modern JavaScript? Oh dear. Um, yeah. Oh, let's just try it. Oh, how do I? Sorry. How do we actually do it? Example JS functions. Oh, where did example JS functions come from? Oh, right. Okay, I have to write .NET.invoke method, I'm guessing. Uh-huh. Okay, that's fine. I can do that. Different method name. Meh. Instance method, not worried about that. I don't think. Nope. That's calling JavaScript from .NET. We don't want that. Ooh, we can have all objects. That's cool. All right, let's just start with this. So we want to invoke a method. Now, what was the? Is this in? Where are we? So where does Blazor sample come from? Gonna guess that's the name of the app, but we'll find out. And this is called set size, and we want it to take some parameters, which is interesting. How do we pass parameters? Invoke method, say hello. Yeah, that doesn't pass the parameter though. So it's a property called name. Oh, that's an instance method call. Maybe you just pass them. Let's see if there's documentation for this. Nope, that's all we got, huh? That's annoying. That's the same example. Okay, looks like you just passed in the parameters. All right, well, let's try it. So set size, and we want to pass in document.get element by ID. I hate it when completion is not the same in every different client width. Okay, and client height, and there is no results, so we can get all that. So other than complaining about these compile errors for some reason, script tag cannot be changed, but can it be updated dynamically? No, I'm not updating anything dynamically at the moment, so let's just see if it works. Or is it going to not build because I've broken the web law? The law of the web. Bam, it doesn't build. Okay. Yep, that's definitely an error. All right, fine. I mean, I probably should do the right thing and create a scripts folder, shouldn't I? I'm gonna need it. Oh no, I don't want this at all. Just create a new file. What am I doing? Okay. You know what? What's the worst that could happen? It could error. So, in theory, can I put a breakpoint on here? I can. Let's see if it works. In theory, this will now call this method. Now, it'll probably call it too early. So probably, I wouldn't be surprised if height and width come in as 0. I guess it could call it so early that that function's not available. In fact, it probably is because it's already tried to call it. Oh, wait, we got as far as skier. That's surprising. Huh. How did we get as far as skier? Independency injection. Is it trying to do some drawing or something because of the game loop? That doesn't make sense. This is a very annoying way to read a call stack. That's interesting. So in game, well, we get some yeah, maybe it's the constructor of this, or rather the constructor of one of these. Yeah, I guess these things would be trying to fire. Oh, that's annoying. That's really annoying because I really like. If I have to start ripping out all this stuff now, that's going to be a lot of work before any of this even runs. So that's frustrating. Let's see if I can break. Oh, I've still got common language runtimes on. That's Why isn't it breaking then? That's very annoying. But all right, we'll try this one. This one's the first one alphabetically, so I'm hoping that this will be the first one DI tries to create, but no guarantees. No. Yeah, I agree. These sort of errors are just frustrating because Like I realize, yeah, yes, that DLL will not be found, but like, can we just move on? I mean, I can copy it to here. I can reference it. Oh, that's really dodgy, but I could totally just reference it. Actually, I only need to reference. All right, I'm gonna try this. What's the worst that could happen? I mean, the fact is, what I was hoping for was that I actually would use Skia because they are planning to support WebAssembly. So in theory, one day I'll be able to keep all this code and Skia calls will hit the canvas, right? But it's not there yet. So this is me not waiting and having lots of errors. Yeah, it's still not there. Interestingly, that didn't bring in the native DLL. I'm pretty sure this one brought in the native DLL. Let's include them too, just for fun. Oh, is it the install script? No, they don't run anymore, do they? Come on, download. Oh, okay. Doesn't like referencing that and that. I wonder if I actually need to install this from the NuGet package manager to get that DLL. Yeah, I don't want to hot reload. Okay, that was a terrible idea. All right. What are we going to do about this then? So what I need to do is have essentially a new project. All right, let's try it. So we want a new project, and it's a class library, and it's called frames.net rendering.skia. And so the theory behind this one is essentially, I can sum it up very quickly, is that our current rendering library, which is this one, no longer references Skia Sharp, but our rendering.skia library does. And so when we reference this from this WPF app probably, that brings in Skia drawing. And then we'll also have a trains.net.rendering.html canvas that we reference from here that brings in all these classes. So what we need to do is everywhere now that this doesn't compile, like here, we need... What do we need? We need to change this to iCanvas, but for ease, we'll just leave it as skcanvas. So we need to generate a bunch of types that are actually interfaces. Oops, interface. That should go green now. Yep. Get rid of that. Yeah, so everything that was Skia in here now becomes an interface. And then we implement in here, we add a new class called, we'll just call it skcanvas. That's actually a terrible name. Yeah, that's a terrible name. We're going to call it skcanvas wrapper. And it implements trains.net.rendering.sk canvas. So we need to add a project reference to here. So this is the class that's going to get injected everywhere this thing wants a canvas. I think that's right, but now the problem here is this canvas comes from this render method. This render method comes from here. Actually, that's maybe okay. Yeah, we'll have to just set up a way to create a canvas wrapper. Yeah, that works. So this is new SK canvas wrapper passing in the canvas. This is an actual skier canvas. So that wrapper the way that works, if we generate a constructor, so if we have a method on our canvas called, for example, let's just call it paint, we just pass that through to this thing's paint method, which it doesn't have, but you get the idea. Yeah, I think that should work. Actually doing colors and things might get interesting. So for example, in track layout renderer, or no, in track renderer here, right, we create SK paints. These have to be, again, like wrappers or factories. Yeah, we're going to have a paint factory that this can implement, this can call. This is kind of, so yeah, the annoying thing about all of this is all very, very, like, there's just a lot of mindless code I need to change now, and I won't know whether the idea is even remotely possible until I've changed it all, which is frustrating because, like, there you go, generate a method, and then we go into our wrapper and we implement that. And so all we're doing with all of these calls is passing through x, y, cell size 1. Like, this is really boring code to write. And then in HTML, the HTML canvas wrapper version of this, some of this might actually need some work because like the overloads might not be there, but I think they probably will. But yeah, it's just a question of then all of this, instead of wrapping a canvas, this would call through JS interop to Blazor, which I think will be fine. We just need a lot more interfaces. All right. Well, no time like the present. So, let's rename this to a iCanvas to start. And an iCanvas needs to take an iPaint. But I will generate one of these. Actually, no, it doesn't. No, we don't need a paint factory. So what I was thinking was this would get a paint factory injected, and then this paint calls the create method to get a new thing, and that is the right type. But actually we don't need that because all of these classes are just very simple. Like, so I can just generate properties for these. They're just very simple data models. And so this can create a paint, right, which is one of ours now. Doesn't do anything. And then our wrapper, instead of passing this through, we can create a new paint and just set color equals paint.color. Map the properties across. The only annoying thing about that is A, I've got to translate all the colors, and then B, I mean, this isn't a big deal, but it's creating all these new objects which then need to be disposed. And, you know, this was deliberately written here to have one copy of this that is then disposed at the end of the app. So, yeah, it probably is worth having a factory, and then that can... Ooh, no, don't do that. That can manage lifetimes and things. Plus, maybe it makes... Well, it makes the code... It does actually. It makes the code easier because otherwise every single method here would have to translate this. And no, actually, that doesn't change anything. It still needs to translate all of that because, yeah, that's always going to be a... This is always going to need a skier paint thing. So there's... Yeah, this can just cast it. All right. Oh, this is annoying. This is very annoying. I have bitten off way more than I can chew, and I am... I'm going to call this a paintbrush because I like that name better. I have bitten off way more than I can chew, that's for sure. Because there is no way this is getting done today. I am very tempted to do all of this just, you know, later. Like, off camera, as it were. And actually, you know what? I'm even thinking, because this is creating so many new types, that I'm even wondering whether I split this up into another layer where we have the types for the, like, just defined, and then the actual rendering, like the renderers that do the work. But that can come later. And see, like, things like this. So I've just created an enum member called Phil, and there's a skier sharp enum member called Phil. But to be able to easily map them across, the numeric values of them have to be the same. But of course, in HTML canvas, that's not going to be the case. So yeah, there's just a lot of manual mapping code that is needed here, I guess. Such is life. It's just a paint style, not an SK paint style. And all right, so we need some colors. Gonna call this colors. Gonna call that earth colors. Yeah, for now this is fine. Oh, did I call that eye paintbrush? That's not an eye paintbrush. That's a paintbrush. Oh wait, I know I was gonna do a factory. Now I'm confused. Do I want to do a factory? I don't even know. Let's not for now. Let's go with this. Nope. Just that. Yeah, that'll do. All right, that's one class converted. On to the next one. Didn't even finish. Paintbrush. Okay, create a green. Yeah, I guess this will get easier as we go. Create one of them. Create a bunch of methods. The fun part is this, at least this drawing API will be the minimal set of what I need. Of course, the fun part, that comes where the next time we do any drawing, if anyone, if there's a new method needed, we have to create the whole API for it. That's okay. Okay, so diagnostics renderer is next. Text size. This is actually where I could also fix up some of the things in the API of Skier Sharp. Now, Skier Sharp has inherited these things from Skier, from Google, but things like using the same paintbrush for text and for drawing lines, it's kind of not my idea of fun. Guessing this is a name. So that could be. Oh wait, did I change that to an enum? I didn't. Yeah, something like having a text brush here that only has 3 properties. That would probably be nicer in the long run, especially if in the vast distant future there's a point where we have a plugin model and people can write their own tracks and things. I think that'd be fun. How do I keep track of if I've done these? Just wait, look for the compiler errors. It's not a using, that's fine. Generate some more properties, generate some enum members. At least we have Roslyn. Can you imagine what this would be like without analyzers and code fixes to just fix all this stuff up? Oh, it'd be horrible. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, a rectangle. A rectangle and clip operation. We can do that. Yeah, okay, this is not as bad as I thought. Although I need to... now, rectangle is a class that has to hold various values, and that needs to be... So I've now got to create a constructor. Oh, did that create a constructor for me? Ha, it did. V1, V2 cell size. So what is that? I'm guessing that's X, Y. So that's X. That's Y. That's width and height. Of course, the risk here being that it's actually YX or height and width, but we'll hope for the best. Oops, that one. These can be read only. I need a clip rect. I think this clip operation, I think there's only one of these, which is kind of funny. Because now it gets to the thing of, well, do I even bother creating that enum, or do you hard code that? Oh dear, this is a hell of a change, this one. Ah dear, okay, more paints. More colors. Empty alias, which is again probably something that it might be fun to hard code. So being able to turn on or off anti-aliasing in one spot would actually be quite nice. Path. Path is interesting. Oh, a path is very interesting. I think for a path, Oh, that's really annoying. So a path needs to, yeah, that needs to be a factory, because if I create a class called a path, then, what do I have the move to method do? There's nothing that it can wrap. So the class has to live in here so it can wrap something, which means we need a factory to get it out of here. Which, yeah, that's okay. All right, so we need a path factory, which is a interface, correct? And we are initializing a field. That did not work. Let's try that again. We are initializing a field. And here we are saying was it my path factory dot create. Let's do that. It's an iPath. Okay, so these methods now I can implement. Oops. I can implement those in the. Yeah, so that's nice. So now I can implement an object in here that is a path wrapper that passes those calls on to Skier. What's wrong with this one? Inconsistent. That's interesting. I wonder why that one's inconsistent when all the rest of them aren't. And rotate degrees. Do some of that. This can't be static anymore. Oh man. Float to int. Oh, V. Okay, so that's what? X. What? Y. X, Y. I'm guessing these were all doubles in Skier, which probably automatically will cast. Yes. Okay, cool. Arc2. Oh no, I should have done that. So these are a trick for you. See how this generated with object, all these incorrect types. So the first thing you want to do is create these types. And even if they've got the wrong name, or even if they're not enums, at least if they exist, when it generates the method, it'll all work. And then when you come in later and rename it, that'll all work. But of course, we need to generate all this as well. Now we can generate our arc2 method, and you can see here it knows the types. And we don't want dispose. That's how we know I've seen a file, if the dispose method is commented out. I'm going to have to do this, and then I'm going to have to resurrect the comment one and make sure this all works still after implementing all of this. Ah dear. Okay, I guess we're not playing with Blazor today. Instead, we're just preparing the way, but that's okay. That's an important part of any exercise. I'm just going to change all. Well, no. I don't want to change part of the word paint, but I want to change all these to doubles. Okay, let's fix these while we're here. What is wrong with clip-wrapped? Oh, these are all. I guess these are all internal. Why is that the only one that's complaining? That's really weird. That's an internal enum, and that's an internal class. That's really... Is that weird? What am I missing here? Paintbrush. Oh, it's public. Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, these all should be public, but I wonder why it generated those as internal. Happy now? There we are. Okay, oh dear. Oh man, V1, V2, and V3. Ugh. Okay, what do we got? Oh, sorry, it's okay. Look at the thing, string. So this is the text. X, Y. Line is, yeah, actually it is X1. Y1. It's Y2. I'm guessing, or is it width and height? Well, I can't tell. It's probably Y1 and Y2. Rotate degrees is, this is degrees, and this is X and Y for the center point. Draw a circle is the fun one. So that's, oh god, is that radius X and Y? I'm guessing. Let's assume the best. Wait, hang on. So let's have a front edge distance times cell size. So that's, no, that's X. That's Y, that's radius. Okay. Ah, dear. Reverse engineering code. And this is not called focal point. This is just called paint. And this is width and height or X and Y. No way to know. I think it's width and height. And actually, you know what? This overload could go because, oh, there's no other. I could pass in rectangle. There's probably a skier overload of cliprect that takes in coordinates too, which I could use. So I could sort of simplify this API, which might be nice. Okay, where were we up to? We're getting this all to compile. That compiles, and then I think this is the last one. All right, let's have a look. Do we have any errors? Yes, we do. Missed one. Do we have any other errors? Okay, lots of interfaces missing. That's fine. Default codec, I don't care. That one, I don't care. I think. Oh, some more internal things that need to be public, but I think we've done it. Let's go path. Oops. Skier sharp, we don't need. Okay, cool. It's funny. Oh, without disposable, we have all these usings that aren't necessary now. Okay, so this is obviously wrong. Okay, so now that's fine. So we're onto our wrapper class here. Unused field highlight. Yeah, that is most definitely unused. Wrapper we know. The wrapper, I don't want to call configure await. Okay, some more inconsistencies. Make them public. Oh, I really need to fix that one too. Position 0. Oh, if only I remembered what these things are. I will fix them up once we've done the skier versions, because then I can pilfer the skier names for everything. I like that. It's an enum with one option. All right, let's rename all these to get rid of the SKs. Otherwise, we're just going to have conflicts in a minute. All right. So we now should have, this should build successfully. And what we now have is our own drawing API. And it does. So that's cool. So then in here, let's go canvas wrapper. That's good. In here, we need to add in a new assembly for skier dot, that doesn't matter. So that we can create our path factory. And that's it. Now we just fix up all of these errors. So we want to implement all of these. And let me just hang on. Let me do that again. So we get them all. Oops. I went too far. I want the constructor still. Okay. Get rid of that. Implement that. There we are. So now the job is to fill these out, which is essentially pass everything through to the canvas, to the real canvas, but we need to translate all of these enums. So SK color translator. That's a bit annoying. What's a better way to do this? Well, it shouldn't be called white, but let's do that. And then I can make a skier extensions. No, it's not a skier extensions. It's rendering extensions. That's a pretty terrible name. So what this does is it wraps the trains.net.rendering enums, extends them, and converts them to skier enums. To skier, this colors color. And actually, these are all just pattern matched switch expressions, which is colors dot red, for example. Can I do implement add missing cases? Excellent. So now, okay, let's do some trickiness. So we want lots of cursors. We want to copy, and we want to return an skcolors.paste. Didn't work. All right, we'll just do this the hard way. So yeah, what this file will end up being is a bunch of these things. Now I could actually do this with reflection and look up the string values and assume the string values are the same, but just in case they're not, the switch expression does not handle all possible values. Well, you generated cannot implicitly divide colors to color. What? Cannot? Oh, right, yes, of course. It returns a color, not a colors. SK colors is just the enum name. Why does that? That's not. That's interesting. Oh well, okay. You want a default one? You can get a default one. I would have thought it would have known that I've implemented all of the options and it would have been fine with that. But anyway, so right, clip rect. At least now we can fix up the thing. So rectangle is fine. Intersect should be called operation. And I guess that is to skier. And then the boolean anti-alias. Very good. So this is anti-alias. This is operation. And now what's annoying is I really love to be able to say create an extension method called toSkier. But it can't, which is annoying. So we have to do it manually. These are all going to look exactly the same. And I can do that, and I can do that, and I can type in SK operation dot intersect. And that's it. Another one bites the dust. I can rename this rect. Oh yes, my rectangles need the toSkier treatment as well. Oh dear. So much typing. X. Oh, it's called left and top. What did I call it? I didn't call it anything. Okay. Top. Right. Bottom. I think I got it wrong. I think I called them. I think I called them X and Y. I did. Let's. Oops. Let's change these to floats. And so left, right, top, bottom. Right, bottom. I just realized that if I'm filtering out the typing sounds, and if it's successful at filtering out typing sounds, there's actually just dead air now. Whereas I used to get away with the fact that you knew I was typing because you could hear it. Gotta remember to talk more. And I don't want them settable because that's just unnecessary. Right, my life is just full of creating these extension methods now, isn't it? Oh well. I'm gonna have to stop in 20 minutes too. Whew. The other thing I've got to do is remember to go back and fix up any argument names or types I got wrong. Like these two doubles should be floats. And another toSkier method. So this is a paint. Paint brush. Oh, and then all of these need a toSkier as well. Now my problem here is I've forgotten what properties I've actually created. So I'm going to have to do this backwards. That one's an easy one. Well, it was style, I believe. Style, yep. Stroke width. What was the other one? I don't know. I didn't see one. Text align. Text size. What's next? Is that it? That's it. Okay. So then these need their own toSkier, because these are all enums. Of course, these toSkier methods don't exist yet, so now I've got to create them. Oh dear. I mean, I don't know that it would have been quicker if I'd started with this, but surely it can't have been worse. Is it not called text align? Oh no, I missed one. It's an object. Oh. Okay, cool. There was a text align. And it has one enum value. And that's fine. Okay, cool. Text align. And this is called line. Well, at least some of them are easy like that because I'm only using one thing. Paint style. So, is anyone watching still? Because this is riveting code, sure. Like, I'm guessing you're all learning a lot here about typos, about how to write extension methods 400 times, maybe. If you are watching, thank you for sticking with me. Unfortunately, it's not going to get better before it finishes. Ah dear, wouldn't it be fun? Fun? Wouldn't it be terrible, but also funny if I got to the end of this and nothing else, like the rest of the Blazor stuff just didn't work. The eye disposable I'm going to definitely worry about later. Oh, that's interesting. Scare calls X0 and Y0. I'm fine with one based for these things. At least I can now just call toSkier, and that should all work, right? Oh no, these need two floats. How funny. I guess Rosalind prefers double over float if it can't tell, which is totally fair. Now here's an interesting one. So with the eye path, we can't pass this to toSkier, but well, I guess I could create a toSkier extension method to do this, but essentially what we need to do is create an SK path wrapper and just cast it. So we have to trust that the eye path we're given is the one that our path factory will create, which is a totally fair assumption for an app of this size. But, you know, it's possibly questionable. It's possibly quite questionable in sort of normal circumstances. What do we want here? No, we just want to go private read only SK path equals new. Yep. And then I want to implement this. I'd be really nice if it said implement through SK path, but I guess it doesn't know. So this is the same as the canvas wrapper. We just pass in all of these things, calling toSkier on everything and giving ourselves a bunch more work to create more toSkier methods. It's like a never-ending thing. Position 3, V2. Ugh, these names. They're brilliant, aren't they? Two X and Y. And at least these two are easy. So before I forget, whoa, thank you, speech recognition. Before I forget, I need to create a path factory as well. And path factory. And this simply returns a new SK path wrapper. So that will have a path inside it, and then now we can replay all those calls. That should work. This, yeah, all these things are going to complain. See, none of this is going to compile for days. Small. Arc size and direction. Alright, let's fix these up. So this is radius X, this is radius Y, and then X-axis rotate, and then X and Y. Okay, X, oops, and Y. And then what I want to do is I want to grab that and paste that back on here. There we are. Now we have some correct things. All right, let's create some more inner mappers. Maybe I should have used reflection. Maybe I should have just done this once. Can I generate that now? No. Small. All right, what was the other parameter? Path direction. This is another one where I've only got one thing in the enum. Eventually I should fill out all of these though, because different track types and roads and whatever else are going to want different things. Duplicate. Thank you. How is this? Clockwise? Counterclockwise. That's interesting. The only way I draw is counterclockwise. Today I learned. Disposable. Yeah, this should be disposable. I wonder if I can... So this path wrapper is disposable. So this path factory could in theory be disposable. And then it could dispose of all of the path wrappers that it has created. Yeah, that might work. That might make the dispose stuff a bit easier. Now that cannot convert to a path wrapper. Why not? Oh, to SK path. No, you're right. Whoops. This is okay. So this, I'm gonna my now favorite toSkier method. So the way to convert an I path to a SK path is to get the escape path wrapper from the path and then call, well, I could call it toSkier, but I'm actually going to call it, no, let's just call it path. And then we just expose a property, which is path. So we just grab the skier object out of it. Okay. Yep, disposable, I'll have to deal with. Draw rector. I think this one, at least, we don't need any new toSkier methods. We just need to make all of these floats. And it's probably the wrong names. Oh no, XY Whitland Height. Hey, I guessed one right. Yay. This is where I could have a text style and it would actually work totally fine because my text style toSkier method can just simply return an escape paint. That doesn't take a string. Yes, it does. Oh, right. Floats. So we have a dilemma coming up in that there's no way this is going to compile before the night is done. So do I check it in or do I leave it? And I don't know the answer. I feel really bad if I check in code that doesn't compile. But I also don't want to risk losing all this work. I guess I could. No, if I check it in and not push, that doesn't help. I'll probably just check it in because let's face it, who's cloning the repo? But this could be a first for this project where it's left in a broken state. All right, does that compile? It does. I just need to change all these doubles to floats. All right, what's left? Only 9 errors. I missed a semicolon. Oh, hold up. Using directories is unnecessary. Is it possible? Is it possible that this actually works? Let's go back to the WPF app and find out. Go compilation. Well, there might not be a broken master. Hey, nice to know you're still... Yeah, it's broken. Nice to know you're still watching. Thank you, Scott. Guess I should probably debug this. Because I can't actually think of why this would be broken but not throwing exceptions. Like, why was it broken and just did nothing? I find that interesting. I don't want that. Aha, I did throw an exception. No, that's okay. That's a socket exception. I've got this thing on. That's just comment, reload. Okay, so we have a canvas. Excellent. And then we call render. And we call translate, which calls translate. Which does some things. I mean, this looks okay. Create a paintbrush. We draw a line. This actually does look okay. That's a real canvas. It's a real skier canvas. And it's drawing lines. And these parameters are probably wrong. Height is 0. Oh. No, wait. That... Why? Maybe that's not a bug. Maybe everything gets called more than once. Yeah, there we go. Height's got some numbers. Why is this not rendering anything? That's very, very strange. Well, it's definitely broken. So, definitely broken. Did I break this? No. I just added this, so it will find path factory. Essentially, that's the only thing I need. Path factory is public. All these other interfaces must be public or it wouldn't compile. Everything passes a canvas around, which is right, because that's our canvas wrapper. Width and height was right. Do we correctly resize the canvas? The actual skier canvas? No, we just pass into draw. This is very strange. There's got to be some obvious reason why this isn't working. But I'll be darned if I know what it is. Make field read only, sure. Only flags, enums should have plural names. Well, that's just annoying. Yeah, that's fine. Interesting, the template generates that incorrectly. Disposable, that's all. That's really weird. We're wrapping a real canvas, but nothing actually gets drawn to it. I'm restoring it, I'm saving it, I'm clearing it. There's no... So now the problem is I have no idea how to debug this, because of course what I'd love to be able to do is inspect the what the canvas looks like when I'm debugging, but that's impossible. This is a very interesting turn of events. This is a very interesting turn of events. Translate, save, restore. That all looks right. The width and height even came out correctly. And this is drawing in the timer. We got our timer working because I got lots of breakpoints. So where are we? We invalidated somewhere. Where's the timer? Nope. There's a timer here somewhere. There it is. There's no skier in here. The only thing I can think of is that somehow, a big thing that's changed here. Yeah, time is fine. A big thing that's changed here, or the only... Yeah. The only thing I can think of anyway is that we're creating this wrapper all the time, but out of memory is out of memory. We're not getting that. Unless I turn on exceptions, and we are. No, that doesn't make sense. All right, let's figure socket exceptions. There's definitely no exceptions. We've created a path. I wonder if the colors are wrong. Like if black isn't drawing as black, color is white. And we are returning. Where's the return? Can we see what the return was? No. Color to skier is white. It's an SK color. Light grey, that's the grid. This is so weird. What have I done? And more importantly, when did I do it? And should I just give up? Oh, I know. Let's do this. Right, clear all. Draw some tracks. Get a share code. There are tracks. Draw more tracks. The share code is different. Okay, so it's definitely just rendering. Interesting that mouse clicks are still working. And obviously the coordinate system is working. But painting on the screen isn't. Okay, what about... Oh, what about my paint? Did I miss one of these? What else have we got? Okay, color. We've got is anti-alias, stroke width, style, text align, text size. Aha. I wonder if... do you know what it could be? So the difference here is that in my drawing code, I'm not always setting every property of a paint object. But in this mapping code, I am. So take this style, for example. This is stroke. Right, this... Right, all of these are... The ones that aren't specified are defaulted. So stroke width, actually, that's... Pardon me, probably a good example. Stroke width is 1 because it will have been set to 1. The default for this property, though, this property being an int, is 0. So, I mean, it could actually be as simple as that. 3. Start, right? And it also could even be that if you set text align or text... See, text size is 0, right? But on a new SK paint... What's text size by default? It's 12. So it could be that by setting text size to 0, somewhere inside skier sharp, I'm stopping it from drawing. Right here, style is fill by default. This style is stroke, probably because this paint style, well, okay, lower default's to fill, but you get the idea. So what we actually need to do with these paint is we need to make these nullable. So you can get rid of all these. No, I can't. Yes, I need to make all of these nullable. And then this needs to become a full-on method. And return it. And so what I actually need to do here is we go essentially paint.color equals so what we're saying is what am I doing? Set the paint.color. So if brush color is not null, then fine. Call toSki and use it. But if this is null, then this whole bit will be null. So then we fall back to using paint.color. So essentially, don't change anything if the input is null, is what we want. So and I'm guessing, no, that's okay. Yep. Okay, so we need all of these to have question marks. These become semicolons, and now we just go, yeah, so fall back to the defaults. Now, if it's not this, if this isn't what is wrong, I have almost no other ideas. But we'll see. And there still could be problems here because, of course, this property setter could simply run code that says, oh, someone called me, therefore I'll set a bunch of other properties. So we might actually have enough to change this again to just say, if this is null, just don't do anything. Now, there's no other objects here that are likely to have this problem, I don't think. Looks like just paint. But it's possible, like path or anything else. So that didn't help. What do I do? What do I do? All right. As annoying as it is, why is IntelliSense not working for me anymore? Does Nullable hate that? It does. Color is question mark. But that does. Oh, wait a minute, it won't be null. I've checked. Trust me. Is that what the error is though? Cannot implicitly convert. Oh, so. Oh, does this need a dot value? There we are. That's annoying. See, it's. Yeah. IntelliSense is not working for me today. I don't know why. Brush.style. And I need a dot value here, I guess. Alright, just do some copying and pasting. Yeah. Right, let's see if that works. This is really shooting fish in a barrel. I have no idea what I'm doing. Grrr. Why? The answer is going to be obvious. It's going to occur to me in the shower tomorrow morning, and I'm going to run downstairs and I'm going to go and fix it. But I'm going to have to abandon this because I have run out of time. I do not know what is going on. Let's just check this code. This should skip. Yeah, there we go. It's skipping. Stroke, whatever color that is, light gray, excellent. Stroke width is 1, fine. Text align we skip, brush we skip. Yeah, I don't see any reason why that wouldn't draw. All right, let's just for fun, because we've got tiny bit of time. Can we even... No, we can't even load the code for that. Can we decompile source? Sure, let's do it. Let's see if we can discern anything at all by debugging this, which we probably can't. And do we need that? I don't know. No, a canvas type is a ski sharp type, not a WFF type, yeah. Oh, paint isn't null, that's good. That's calling into the native Google code. I got a handle. I got a paint.handle. I don't know. Now, I have no idea why this wouldn't be working. Other than disposing of paints and, you know, maybe creating too many handles or something, which I would assume we would get an error for. But other than that, I cannot fathom what could be wrong about this. It's calling all the draw methods. It's calling it on a canvas wrapper, but that canvas wrapper is passing every call through to an SK canvas. That canvas came from here. Well, the dirty rectangle is 0, 0, which probably doesn't help. But there you go, now the dirty rectangle is a decent size. And we were never using that dirty rectangle anyway, so even if that was clipped, which I don't think I did any clipping. Actually, that's not true. I did clipping on the game, don't I? So this clip here, false. I wonder if somehow that's wrong. Like, let's just see if this is at least colored red. Are we doing any drawing at all? Oh, we are. Okay. Okay, so hang on. All right, so maybe it's the clip. So if I take this line out, presumably everything's going to work again. So it wasn't that paint after all. Like, I wonder if I can put that code back. Aha! Oh, no, we're not getting... That's interesting. We're not drawing tracks. Oh, we're drawing trains. We're drawing happiness. Oh, that is just... Okay. Okay, right. So the clip rect method is this one. Rectangle.to... Oh, what? Is it the rectangle? Anti-alias. Rectangle returns a new rectangle. Left top, right bottom. Left top, right bottom, that's correct. That's just weird. Oh, I commented out the call. I should put that back. So the clip rect call. Whoops. Sorry. Press the show desktop shortcut there. So the clip rect call turns the whole thing off, but without it, it still doesn't draw tracks. Is this calling the right method operation? Clip operation, yeah. And then there's only one overload. And clip operation is intersect to intersect. which is what I'm passing in. Anti-alias is false, width and height. Let's see if it's the rect, skrect thing converter. So left, top, right, bottom. Okay, that's wrong, but I think the first call, there we are. Oh, top. That doesn't look right. Oh, left, top, right, bottom. Left, top, right, bottom. Huh. That doesn't look right. Top should be 0, not right. Left, right, left, right, top, bottom. Left, top, right, bottom. See? Top. Okay, and then for tracks not to work, there must be another one where I've got the arguments wrong. Or I'm using rectangle somewhere else. Hey! Okay, I don't understand that. I must be using rectangle twice. Ah, yes, in track. Ah, okay, so I was calling clip rect before. All right, good. Okay, good. Everybody stop panicking. Well, there we go. Thank you for joining me on this 2-hour stream where we started with a game that worked and we've ended with a game that does exactly the same thing, but with more indirection. Because when in doubt, add more indirection. I apologize if you've had to sit through this. I don't know why anyone would, but I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah. No, this was all good. This is a foundational thing where we're just putting in some groundwork. It's not glamorous, but it's what has to happen. Because now what we can do, I know I'm clicking this button, I can just go close all. Now what we can do is create a new one of these that calls JavaScript interop and HTML canvases. And interestingly, there's not even much code here, which is kind of cool. So this rendering is now purely a library, which is awesome. With a very limited scope of which directions it will draw arcs, but never mind that. Path direction, we only draw counterclockwise. But so we can fill that out, that's okay. This, we draw a HTML version of this, and then, yeah, what I need to do though is work out, okay, given Blazor, like, how do we change the size? How do we initialize this game? That JS interop, that'll be the interesting part. I'll probably have a play with that off stream just to, because it's not much fun to watch someone floundering. But yeah, this is cool. This is a good foundational episode. So I am going to commit this, even though it would appear that I did nothing. I actually did add a Blazor project, and I didn't even break anything. Oh, I know I did. Null storage. I bet you that stopped. This won't load, save and load tracks anymore. And I know how to fix that, and I've just realized it, and I don't know why I didn't do it earlier, but I can. Where are we? Where's null storage? You can come back to tests. Whoops. Whoa. Down here. So you can go in there. Expand. Okay, try this again. Cut. And paste, much easier. So you can go back to tests, which means Windows will work, and then web can just have its own. And then the program needs to also do this one. All right, so now we should get back to loading save tracks automatically, which means I really will have not broken anything, but let's find out. Does it load? Yay. All right, cool. So I've really not broken anything, but yeah, we got a much better layout now for rendering, where rendering can be library agnostic, not just device agnostic, which Skier Sharp gave us, which is cool. And I mean, I'd love to go back to Skier once they support WebAssembly. Well, so, you know, that sort of door is still open, which is nice. And the test pass, which is odd because it didn't compile. OpenGL port. Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is actually where I now can write the console port properly, because now I just have rendering.console, just does ASCII art. Yeah. Just, you know, weekend project over Easter maybe. Let's just get rid of this. Oh, fine. I'll put in a configure to wait. I should put in configure waits. It's a web app. I gotta fix disposables. I've got whatever. All right, that'll do. Skier rendering into a separate library. Oh man, I'm checking in fonts. All right, tell you what. Let's do this properly. I'm going to do 2 check-ins just to show off. Because is that? Yeah. So that one and those 4. Yeah. Okay. So we refactor that thing, and then we create skeleton. All right, awesome. Thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. If this makes it to YouTube and I bother editing out the silence at the start when OBS didn't work and when OBS still doesn't have my camera. Where am I? I don't know. If I bother doing that, then great. Otherwise, thanks for hanging out anyway. And yeah, maybe this will be a stream exclusive. See you later.